Hi, kids. Okay, number 15, greatest films of all time is Tokyo Story 1953, directed by Yasuhiro Ozu, kind of part of a loose trilogy, the other films being Late Spring and Early Summer. All three of those films, the actress Setsuko Hara plays a character named Noriko, necessarily the same character in the films. Um, and some of those, I think, Late Spring especially is sometimes regarded as a better film than Tokyo Story. It's one of those things that happens on this list sometimes, right? The film that ends up on the list isn't necessarily the film that a lot of people will say is the best film, or it's debatable anyways. But Tokyo Story is the one that is on this list. So let's get into it. So the screenplay is done by Ozu and Kogo Noda. They are teamed up in Ozu's post-war films, I think, 13 times. Ozu has over 50 films to his career, over 3 decades. They had an interesting method of writing. They would go off, um, sometimes to a cabin or something together. They'd go away and they would have bottles of sake, and they would drink the sake as they wrote, and they would number the bottles, and the script would be referred to as how many bottles of sake it took to write the script. This script took 103 days to write, so you can imagine how much sake that was. So the film is inspired by a Hollywood film, Make Way for Tomorrow, um, directed by Leo McCarey. If you're a Marx Brothers fan, and why wouldn't you be? Director of Duck Soup. So Noda had seen that film, had mentioned it to Ozu. Ozu was unfamiliar. He told him basically what it was about, and just based on that, it was the inspiration for this film. So it's not a direct adaptation. It's kind of like, hey, this is a story that we can kind of play with in our own way. Just the themes of the story, the basic setup of the story. So Ozu is known for his distinct style. He was, it comes up in a lot in this, anti-Hollywood conventions, didn't care for a lot of the rules of Hollywood, how you were supposed to do things, didn't usually have a master shot, didn't care about crossing the line. It was very rare in his films for even the camera to move, usually set in a low angle and just still. So just like Alhazard Balthazar, minimalist film, this is another minimalist film. Ozu also kind of rejected conventions in far as plot points. He didn't usually show what was traditionally shown. Major events that happened during the film would happen off camera and just be in the script, in the dialogue. Characters would just refer to or react to that event to have taken place. Ozu, by the way, someone who lived with his mother his adult life, never married. I believe in his childhood he may have been caught writing love letters to another boy. So much like T.E. Lawrence, probably perhaps a closeted homosexual, repressed homosexual, who knows. Um, this film came out 53, okay reception. I think it was like the eighth highest grossing film of 53 in Japan. And then that was kind of it, because of its anti-Hollywood, shaking off the conventions. It didn't play very well in the West. It wasn't until about 1972, so 20 years later, that it starts to get played over here in film festivals and such, and then builds and eventually makes its way onto the lists that make it onto this list. I think when we talk about Japanese cinema, especially from this era, it's the Kurosawas, right? Kurosawa translates a lot better for Western audiences. His influence is easy to see. Ozu, a little bit different, his own man. So it is on the list, BFI list, 2012. It was number 3 on the critics list, number 1 on the directors list. 2022, it was number 4 on the critics list, and also I think tied for number 4 on the directors list. And on Metacritic, according to critic reviews, it has a score of 100 out of 100. It is the number 1 film on there. So number 1, number 3, number 1, 4, and 4, and it's only number 15. And the only reason is because it's not an American film, so it's not on the AFI lists, and you haven't rated it enough or as high yet that it's not in the IMDb top 100. So this was an American film. I'm pretty sure it would be on the AFI list, or if more of you go watch it, it would be on IMDb. And if that was the case, it would definitely be way higher on this list than 15. Could easily be number 1. Anyways, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe.